Greetings, everyone. Good evening. How y'all doing?
Excellent.
Womack. Greetings, peace, and love, everybody.
Greetings. Greetings, Ahmad.
Good to see everybody. Hey, Uncle G, how you doing, man? Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt. It's definitely good to see you on, man. So, everybody, welcome to the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network broadcast that we do every 2 weeks on Monday evenings, Monday afternoons, depending on what part of the world you are. It's definitely good to see everybody in good health and good spirits. Likewise, I'd like to give thanks to the Most High, to the Mature, for bringing us all here together. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Today on the show, we have Lloyd Remell Miller and Shireen Wright from the UK with the Universal Tree. Great project they have out there. Technology willing, we'll have His Majesty, His Excellency Sharif Balder from the Gambia report. If he can make it on, I'm trying to see if he'll come in. Yeah, he has a huge time difference, so we'll see if he can make it. We also have the Brazil report, which I'll be giving. We have Nana Adjoa, Nina Womack. She's here with us tonight. Verda, Olayinka, one by one, and all together we save ourselves. And we have His Excellency King Mub-Dib of the Numai, Theocratic Indigenous Mauri Amazigh Kingdom. We also have Makakuvu Ali El-Bey, who will be addressing us today. And we have a special treat toward the end of the show that I'm gonna let be a surprise for now. Just before we get rolling, I wanna mention some things. For those of you who this is your first time here with us on the World Media Coalition, we are a subscription-based network specializing in news and business, first of all, culture, arts, and entertainment, second of all, in the Jazz Lovers Television Network. We focus on conscious education, conscious entertainment, conscious culture, and conscious entertainment, conscious with a K. Before we move on, I want to ask you a few questions. Who here in our viewing audience watches television? Anybody still watch TV? Every now and then? Good. Okay. Peace and blessings. Who in our viewing audience has a subscription for television? Okay. And who in our viewing audience gets paid to watch television? Okay, so let's move into the show. Mama Set, I need you back. How you doing? Good to see you. We are still waiting to see if, it doesn't look like he's gonna make it just yet. So we're gonna move right into the show. I'm gonna give the mic over to Lloyd Remell and Shireen Wright from Universal Tree. And I'll let them have the stage so they can address you all.
Greetings and blessings, everybody. I hope everyone is good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, greetings and blessings. We wanted to show a video so people can see what Universal Tree is about. Is that possible? Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and share our screen. So you put that YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. And produce this, okay, and share the screen, and we're going to share. Can you see our screen?
Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
No, not yet.
Not yet. We can just see you.
Okay.
Live, live.
163. How do you do this?
So we're sharing the screen now. I believe. So, all right. Can you see now? Blank screen?
Can you see now?
No.
Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, now you can see the screen. Yes?
You can see the screen now?
Nothing's there yet. Can you see?
Nothing
Yes.
there.
Okay, I'm gonna play this video now. Can you see that I'm playing?
Welcome to the Universal Tree Family.
Coming up now.
Can you see that? Did you see that? Oh,
Briefly.
okay, I'm gonna play the video now for you all.
Welcome to the Universal Tree Family. Together, we are one. Universal Tree stands for unity, uniting people globally to impact and improve lives. The tree stands for community, strength, and growth, and an acronym. For T, teach. We teach the skills required for industry and personal development, and we teach history through travel. For R, respect. Through history and an understanding of our culture, we gain respect for ourselves and others. For E, engage. With communities globally connecting the dots of Black history with world history, we provide a variety of courses, workshops, educational materials, books, visual learning, and development resources. Empower. We empower communities globally through history and by implementing community initiatives globally. Our logo and company quest, including our name, are not just simply attractive and cool. It has meaning, representation of life, strength, unity, and growth. In African culture, the tree symbolizes many things: the tree of life, the tree of wisdom, and the tree of knowledge. The tree plays a significant role in many African traditions and practices which bring the community together. The baobab tree in Africa is known as a place associated with sharing knowledge, which one can say that this was the earliest version of a community hub, a place whereby the elders would sit around the tree sharing knowledge with the community and telling stories about life. These same customs and traditions can be found around the world. Like any living thing, and as in our name, tree, which represents a healthy community, in that in order for a community to be healthy like a tree, it requires strong roots. And in order to have strong roots, it must be in a good environment and have sufficient resources, nutrients such as water, sunlight, is required in order for it to be a strong and healthy tree. We believe together we can improve lives, create self-sufficient and sustainable environment. A strong community requires unity and respect. The tree represents us and what we want to achieve for our community. The roots are our history and culture at the core of our organization. The roots are the support systems required to keep us strong and tackle the issues we face in the community. This is why we started our journey through learning our history and culture and continue to do so, and we want to help strengthen communities globally.
Excellent.
Okay. You hear us?
Excellent. Yes, we can hear you.
We've got two more videos to show you quickly. Is that all right?
That's fine. The floor is yours, sir. Do what you got to do.
So that was explaining the logo, and did you have that? Did you not put it all up? Oh. No, isn't it the first we're going to do? Are we doing that one?
me press it.
Okay.
So we were just waiting for it to load up. My apologies.
That's fine. Wait for that. Give us a little background about yourselves while it's loading.
And blessings,
Oh,
family
sorry.
and friends. Welcome to Universal Tree Back to the Future project.
Sorry, one second.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah, sorry.
My name.
Well, mine is Lloyd Remell Miller, and what I do is I travel around the world basically, and I research history basically, and what I do, I turn it into visual learning videos so that
Travel
I can
to the past to save the future.
Sorry.
History plays.
I turn it into visual learning videos so people can learn from it. You know, so you know, can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Significant and important part of our culture, identity, and development.
These fancy
No matter
laptops,
where you are.
eh? Yeah, Lloyd always wanting to get the top of everything, and these fancy laptops, I think the normal basic ones are just as good, but these ones are, yeah, sensitive. Like
Yeah.
pause. Is it pause? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So basically I travel around the world and I research our history because I believe part of the problem is that with the young people is that they have no knowledge of self. So it's important for us to teach people the knowledge of self so, you know, that it create a route for them out of the system that we live in. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, we hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. So this is So here's my other half, as you know, Ahmed. Hello. My name is Shireen Wright. I'm the CEO with Lloyd Remell of Universal Tree. I'm a qualified further education teacher, so I design courses. I work with the community in looking at different projects, different community initiatives that we can implement that's going to bring change into the community or communities globally. That's what we're working towards. I've got over 25 years working with in colleges and universities, developing and delivering a variety of industry training courses, employability courses, and I see myself as a humanistic teacher, so I believe in learning through doing, and I believe that, you know, everybody has a skill and it just needs to be nurtured, just needs to, just like the Universal Tree video you saw, we just need the right resources for people to encourage and help people grow. And that's what we're doing, and we're involved in several projects in the Gambia, where we've identified talents, professional people that care about their communities, and we're just working together, we're just basically supporting them in their growth, and we're actually in the process of developing our own community hub space where we send things from the UK to the Gambia in our Tech for Tech scheme. So what we're doing, we're sending things to be recycled to learn from the recycled material. Some of the things the items we donate, i.e. electronical items, laptops, PCs and so forth. So we've got a team of people that will train the local community on how to fix these electrical items. Then they can use that to, some of the things can be sold so they can make money, so they can sustain themselves. And at the same time, they're actually looking at developing their skills as well, which I mean, and supporting the community. So I'm waffling on a little bit.
Awesome, that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, so we've got several different types of projects going on at the moment, and yeah.
So can you hear us?
Yep. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so the Tech for Tech scheme was born out of Gambia from actually going to the Gambia in 2018. My father-in-law, he had this passion, he had a dream of sending the young youths from the UK that you know, that were troubled to the Gambia to learn about their culture and to learn about themselves. And obviously with my employability and training background, I just kind of thought of like, how can we make it so that when those young people, when they do go over there, some people will appreciate, you know, the experience of going to a different country, learning about their culture, and that will be enough for them to just grow and develop themselves. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they will go out there and when they come back into their reality, you know, things will not have changed much for them. So I was trying to identify what skills was out there and how we could have some sort of like a dragon's den kind of entrepreneurship going between young talent in the UK and in the Gambia, how we can use their natural resources. As we know in Africa, especially in the Gambia, they're very good at, seamstress, they're very good at everything. But, you know, my first initial contact was, you know, they were good at making clothes and items and jewelry and making, you know, health products and so forth, so we can utilize that. And that's how, you know, Universal Tree was initially, was to try to go out there and see how I could develop how I could develop a project where we were sending people back and forth to the Gambia, and I would be training them via the internet. Obviously going there, realised that internet access was an issue, electricity is an issue. So I thought, okay, how are we going to be able to solve that problem? And how we've done that is that we are now, you know, we've now in the process of, we have actually now acquired a building to deliver our Tech for Tech scheme, where people can have internet access, people can learn and develop themselves. There's a space where they can make clothes, sell the items, and actually have access to the internet. So then we're able to teach them via our connections, because we have a lot of people on our database with different skill sets and professionals, whatever, from different aspects. So where I will come in is like kind of linking that in together and trying to develop programs that is going to support growth and development.
Awesome, awesome. While you were talking, we still have your screen up. So if you want to go ahead and play the video, then afterwards you can talk some more. I'm interested a lot in what you see. I actually met Lloyd personally here in Brazil, so that was awesome. So it's pretty good that we've been able to keep up with each other. But go on and play the video, and then get back to yourselves, because this is very interesting.
Family and friends, welcome. To Universal Tree, Back to the Future.
It's buffering.
Sorry, it's buffering up.
Okay.
Project.
Sorry about this.
Greetings and blessings, family and friends. Welcome to Universal Tree, Back to the Future project.
Sometimes you have to challenge the past to save the future.
Technical problems.
Sorry, technical problems. I don't know
why it's not playing through.
That's all right. So cancel the share for right now, and then see if you can get it together. Okay. Let's see here.
Okay. Your speaker's not working. Please check the connection. Yeah, hello, can you?
You can manage your team's work easily with Monday.com. Just go to Monday.com and start tracking any project.
Oh, we're gonna mute ourselves so you can, are we still sharing?
No, I canceled the share right now. It should be on you. But all you have to do is when you're ready, just hit share again.
Okay, then, yeah, we're having some technical issues, so we're just trying to sort them out.
Project or workflow in minutes. Yeah, minutes. What? You don't believe me because I'm an actor? Here, I'll show you. Get started with a template. There are lots of them, and they've been designed for any type of team. Break your project down into tasks, assign them to your team, and plan it out on a visual timeline. Simply drag and drop to make the perfect project that works for you.
Okay, let's go back. Now it's playing what we don't want to play. Okay, is this it? Is that the one? That's the one, isn't it? Okay.
Well, why is it buffering? I don't understand.
Important part of our culture.
Come back to you.
Okay.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's
no
fine.
problem. Yeah, no problem.
That's fine.
Let me put myself on mute.
Thank you, though. Excellent. We'll talk some more.
Yeah, we'll definitely get back. This is definitely something that intrigues me, and I like it a lot, especially since he's already been here to Brazil. So moving right along, I spoke to His Excellency Shireen Wright. He is unable to make it currently. So next, a great person that it's always good to have on the show. We're gonna move on to Nana Adjoa, Womack, my Zulu Nation. Welcome once again, welcome back, and the stage is yours.
Thank you. Greetings, friends and family. My name is Her Excellency Nana Nina Womack. I have just been appointed Queen Mother of the Tim Kotakoli tribe in Ghana. I'm the special advisor to our national Queen Mother, and as her advisor, that automatically makes me a Queen Mother. Right here in Los Angeles is where I'm at, and working with the Ghanaian community, the African community. You guys, there are so many exciting developments that I want to come and talk to you about how the diaspora and Africa is connecting. We're moving in droves, coming together in unity. Finally, woohoo, woohoo, I am so excited about that. I am a member of parliament also of the State of the African Diaspora. Now that is a global sovereign government that we formed in 2018. We have about 300 members worldwide in France and Sweden and Italy and all throughout the Caribbean, all throughout Africa, as well as the United States. And we have formed two with the intention to be the 6th region of the African Union. So we are forming, we've got some great initiatives such as developing a diaspora bank, bringing in agriculture throughout Africa, working together. The diaspora in Africa is one. We also have, we're creating a chocolate factory. We have an agricultural commodities exchange, a diaspora education program, housing, you name it. Go to our website, stateoftheafricandiaspora.com, and you can see all the different programs that we have. I, as a member of parliament, is spearheading two of our programs, which is our global performing arts program. So my job is to oversee the diaspora and Africa's performing arts activities and I'm initiating some of our activities as a filmmaker, as an event producer. I am creating activities and I'm seeking partnerships with other diaspora and African performing arts programs to come work with us so we can tell our own stories, our own narrative about our culture, the Pan-African culture. So I'm very excited about that. And also I am the chairwoman of our Global Diaspora Food Bank. I have been here in Los Angeles running organic pop-up food bank for 2 years now. And I pick up food from Whole Foods Market, also from Trader Joe's, from different farm organizations, and I go and recover the food and donate it to underserved communities of color so we can have access to healthy food. So with this ministry I've been doing for the past 2 years, now the Creator has expanded my outreach into a global market. So my job is to ensure that the diaspora around the world will have access to healthy food. So with that being said, I am implementing agricultural systems throughout Africa and making connections with partners in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Sierra Leone, so we can institute aquaponics, hydroponics, different things like that. I'm also a chairwoman of the California chapter of the National Women in Agriculture Association. National Women in Agriculture Association, we were founded in 2008 by Dr. Tammy Steele in Oklahoma. And we have about 2,500 women farmers nationwide. And now we're expanding internationally over to Africa. So I have invited our founder, Dr. Steele, to partner with my Nigerian farm women in Nigeria, as well as in Ghana and in Kenya, so we can expand this outreach of building food sovereignty. That is so needed, as we saw with COVID-19, that people have gone into food insecurity, and it's just astronomical. So my commitment as a Pan-African leader, a humanitarian, also a creator, is to ensure that my people have access to good health, to healthy food, and positive mindsets. So that is it. I'm just actively doing work in Africa. I just recently connected in a partnership with Larissa, who runs Akon Global. She works with Akon, and she's doing some great work in Africa. And we just formed a partnership so we can bring different development activities even more to Africa, into areas such as Ghana and Liberia and so forth. So I'm just thankful to be here in Los Angeles, connecting with my brothers and sisters in Africa, building together in unity. And I'm honored to be on this show, to be a part of this show, and to work with Makakuvu. I know he's doing some great work in Gambia, and together we will promote Africa and the diaspora.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, Nana.
Excellent. Thank you, Her Excellency, Nana Nina Womack, Adjoa, Nana Nina Adjoa. I swear I'm going to get it right.
For those of you that don't know, Adjoa, my birth name is Nina, but Adjoa in Ghanaian culture that means someone who was born on a Monday. So they give Ghanaians names depending on the day of the week that you were born. So I was born on a Monday. So now my Ghanaian, my African name is Adjoa, Adjoa Nina.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so I'll give my brief segment. A lot of you may not know, those of you that know me, family, friends, and acquaintances. I live in Brazil. I live in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. I've been here for about 12 years. I came out here to connect with our brothers and sisters on the diaspora here in Brazil, which is pretty much almost a forgotten country by the rest of the diaspora, because the advertising or basically the whatever they show us in the media only shows the blonde hair, blue eye, big butt dancing white women on TV, but they never show the African part of Brazil. Africa, per the census, is 54% Afro-descendant. So about more than half of the country on the census is of African descent. And that does not include those Brazilians who don't actually identify themselves as African descendants. So, it's been calculated that about 75 to 80% of this country is Afro-descendant. Then you have another 13 to 15% that is native Brazilian Indian. And then you have the European, Japanese, is a large Japanese population, French, German, and other, nationalities and ethnicities that are part of the country. Unfortunately, because of the country's corrupt and communist background, about 2% of the population controls 95% of the wealth, which, we know that business model from other places, of course. Brazil is a place that suffers from a very active neo-colonialism agenda. Currently and openly, they are exterminating the Tupi, Guarani, and Tupi, Guaxini native Brazilians that reside in the northwest of the country, like Tocantins and other parts. The Amazon, as we know, is being burned. But not only is the forest being burned, but the people that are in the forest are being put out of the forest and burned out of the forest. Those who resist are being killed. It was quoted, and this was quoted from 1984, that one of the senators said that in 1984, there were about 300,000 native Brazilian Tupi of the Tupi tribe, which is Tupi is a general name for the local native brothers and sisters, and then they're each divided by their tribe. But there was about 300,000 that resided in the Amazon and their villages, still living the culture that they were raised on. And the senator himself said that they had a plan that by 2030, they would have diminished the population to 20,000 and would have that 20,000 fully integrated into the society. And that is a quote. Aside from that, there is a very active genocide agenda for the Afro-descendants. Currently, the rate of execution for young Black males is 6 times that of the United States. Our most recent tragedy was a young boy of 12 years old who was shot in his house by police who invaded their house thinking that it was a drug house. Just 2 days ago, a friend of mine here in Salvador, his house was invaded by police because his apartment is next to a known drug dealer's apartment, but they got the wrong place. And because he was of African descent, he was not allowed to speak his piece. He was beaten. I mean, he wasn't beaten within an inch of his life, but he was beaten in front of his young daughter, his 2-year-old daughter, 2 days before her birthday, and his wife that were all in the house. So we're currently seeking some justice for that. Last week, a capoeira master in Sao Paulo, he was beaten and taken to jail in front of his family, suspected of robbery. And for those of you who don't know, capoeira is an Afro-Brazilian martial art. And in the communities, the masters are very respected individuals. They're examples that lead the community. And the fact that he got no consideration because of the fact that he was a master of capoeira really has shocked a lot of people. So hopefully this is waking people up. There is a big problem in Brazil with the colorization. And then a lot of people don't know they're Black, so like some places in Africa, they don't realize they're Black until they leave Africa. Well, Brazil suffers from that as well. A lot of the police, about 95% of the police force are actually African descent. So this is a very big problem, and we're working on that now. I'm working with a couple of local African militant groups to try to educate the community, uplift the consciousness of the entire society, and get justice in not only reparations, but we want to build a society where we can prosper in peace. So we're working on that. Also, another project we have is Guerreros da Luz. A few of you know about this project that we are working with the youth, where we're teaching martial arts, meditation, arts, science, and biology. We're teaching them their cultural perspective of where they come from, so that they have an idea of where they're going. Since we're on lockdown because of COVID, Brazil is still we just moved into the second phase of, getting into back to normal. But right now, we're not allowed to get together in groups, so the project is on pause. But over the past 10 years, I've worked with about 200 kids, 200 youth with this project. And as soon as everything gets back to normal, we will move into phase 2, which will have the cultural center that's built on the island close by, and we'll have a local cultural center on the mainland, so we can start doing cultural exchanges. And eventually we hope to start doing international cultural exchanges where we could bring young adults to work with the youth here, and young adults from here to work with youth in other places. And hopefully we can build a unified global community. Other than that, things are pretty normal. We're in the COVID era, and once it gets back to normal, we can get physically moving again, and I look forward to that. Now, I want to swing over to our next guest. Pass on the mic here.
Can I interrupt for a minute?
Absolutely.
I just got the Gambia report. Okay, I sent you some attachments that His Excellency Sharif Balde just sent to me. So while I'm giving the report, could you see if you could pull those attachments up and share those attachments?
Okay, where did you send them?
I sent them on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Should I email them to you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, while I'm doing that, go ahead and take the next report, and then I'll come back with this.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Doing the chair.
Little Makakuvu.
Makakuvu.
So next we have, and this is my first time meeting, Queen Verda, Olayinka from One by One and All Together We Save Ourselves. Welcome to the show. Go ahead and unmute yourself, and I will put you in the spotlight. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm very, very glad to hear all of what's going on in this global environment, and pleased to be a part of, as a legacy builder news reporter for the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network. Thank you very much for your decision, the leaders, for your decision to bring me in to this auspicious group. Okay, all right. My appreciation is given. All right, I think I have to turn this down. Okay, there should be no double sound. Okay. Also, I would like to thank all of the global communities, national and local communities, for supporting the Black Lives Matter and involvement of what has happened throughout the USA and the world. We were very pleased to see the global support of the Black Lives Matter movement, and we thank you for your support. We are building and continuing the legacy of political and economic greatness of descendants from the continent of Alkebulan, also known as Africa. some of what I'm going to say is almost speaking to the choir, but I will continue, okay? Our true history tells us our ancestors controlled economic development for 1,151 years. Across the continent of Alkebulan and all the ports inside of the Mediterranean Sea. This happened just before the global colonialism and the selling of human bodies as victims of war and into the West, including the United States, Brazil, and other parts of the West. The United States has only existed for 245 years. So this African global control has been incurred the wrath of other nations, and they sought to take control, which they did. Okay, many of us are already aware of this reality. Okay, my goal is to guide everyone to enhance, and as others have also mentioned in this experience, to enhance and experience well-being among the people and abundance for families and communities around the world. One by one and all together, we save ourselves. In 2016, I wrote a book called Activating Social Solutions, Essential Keys to Progress. This was written because of all of what has happened since Eric Garner and his killing, I Can't Breathe, Hands Up, Don't Shoot, Black Lives Matter. This movement gained momentum. It was had already begun, but would gain momentum as of 2016. My concern about what was happening was that people were demonstrating on the streets and making a lot of noise and laying down their bodies in front of highways. And this was going on nationally across the USA. But the reality was, by the time they got home in the evening, conditions were the same as they were before they left. So my concern is to get folks to deal with another reality than putting themselves in danger when they're out on the streets. I also witnessed the blowing of some kind of powder on the people, and the electronic assault on people as they were in the streets from the 5G networks as well as the chemtrails above and overhead. That's a whole different conversation, but it's a reality here in the United States that the technology has grown, and it really impacts on us, including our ability to go beyond our lack of motion, a lack of activity. So that is partly why I wrote the book. That was the motivation. It's getting to be republished now, and so and updated. And just yesterday, someone was shot in the back in Madison, Wisconsin, and there were police demonstrations again. But each time there are demonstrations, the people are put in grave danger because they are already beginning to put together the incarceration and taking people into camps. And this whole process has been planned and approved in Congress since 2011 and prior. But these detention camps are being prepared for folks in the especially urban areas to be detained. So our people in the USA especially have to come off the streets and think of a new way of creating for ourselves. It's going to take some work, a lot of work, but we need each other as we work together to achieve a major change. But this could be fun because once we work together, we can get over. That's an expression that we use, slang expression, but we can get over on these people. Like instead of getting over on each other for different things, and keep us from being belly up, going belly up like conquered insects. So I would like to talk today about well-being. Well-being is something that is encouraged by most communities, mostly in Europe and other places and the United States. And it looks at the whole reality of fulfilling needs for families and communities and for our children. It looks at the social quality of life. We have to increase the interest in our quality of life, but the way to do it is to be off the streets and working with one another, together with one another. So part of the power of well-being is the amount of participation that we give. So there has to be more participation addressing specific community needs, interests, and values. So we're looking at, as I continue to present this legacy building role, I would like to give more information to people on ways in which we can save ourselves. Essentially, I am a social scientist, and I've worked as a social researcher for the city of New York, looking at behavior change and HIV prevention, and I was a city research scientist. So I would like to bring these talents of understanding the social issues, which we don't really look at, but they are there. The economics, the psychology, the social psychology of what we have to get through in order to achieve collectively to reach these goals. So fundamental to the maintenance of community well-being is the development of trust. We have to begin to trust each other as we work together on different projects. One major project here in the US and worldwide I can see is education and what we do to educate our families, especially in this time of crisis. Where the schools are closed and given partial education for what was really not quality to begin with. Now it is a whole lot worse. So there's this whole thing called the education pods, and they're looking at community pods of students that can be brought together and educated on a local level with skilled people, teachers and parents and community workers as well as church members who can provide the knowledge to the young people so that they can grow and develop. We have to look also at our negative emotions of hate, jealousy, envy, and the false barriers that we put between ourselves, especially in the USA and partially around the world. You mentioned colorism, sexism, and I don't want to go into all of that totally, but the false barriers that we place between ourselves in terms of education and achievement and other issues that we need to really ignore. So, or see beyond this so that we can work together. The imaginary differences of ethnicity, I'm from here and you're from there. I believe in this and you believe in that. Whether or not one is educated, college degree or not, or training. Right now we're looking at the value of vocational training and how those people with skills in that area can really grow our community. We have to stop researching, supporting other community members, other ethnicities, and look at giving the resources back to ourselves. As again, I'm talking to the choir, but this is true. We can build our legacy. Together we can save ourselves. Together we can, and this is how we do it. I'd like to be able to help people in each area identify where the needs are, where the skills are, and how we can identify people who are willing and ready to learn and learn from the people. The education system has really failed us, and that was by design. My book, Activating Social Solutions, talks about how the design was developed and maintained from the schools to the prisons and by force. So by planning and linked to gentrification. So let us continue. I'm here to hear HEAR, what the needs are, where the communities need key information, maybe how to gather data and use that data to build internally our communities. So if there are questions or concerns, I have a website I'd like to give. I wasn't able to know whether or not the diaspora, the World Media Coalition has a media link for the public to connect with. But my email address is otuerelu@protonmail.com. ProtonMail is a more secure email source. And so anyone who wants to have a more secure email than what's out there through Google and et cetera, otuerelu@protonmail.com. Thank you very much. We can discuss similar local concerns. I really want to know from around the USA what the local concerns are, and try to address those concerns as the webcasts continue with the as the media connection that I can give and provide to this group and also their members as we move forward. Thank you for me being a legacy builder. I look forward to more conversations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Feel free to also, you can type the website and your email in the chat. And for the rest of you, you can always go to, well, all of you can go to worldmediacoalition.com or World Media Coalition at Outlook.com. Let me just make sure I got that correct.
So Are there any questions or concerns from folks who are listening so far?
Actually, we're going to do the Q&A later. We're going to do the Q&A later, not now.
Hear anything?
Okay, so actually, Verda, Mr. Olayinka, we're going to do the Q&A later. No questions now.
Okay. Right. So, Makakuvu, if you agree with the Gambia report, let me know where you want to start.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And again, welcome all of you to the World Media Coalition News Gathering Legacy Building broadcast. As I said earlier, the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network has 5 broadcast platforms: news, business, arts, culture, and entertainment, last, conscious entertainment with the K. News and business with the World Media Coalition, arts, culture, and entertainment with the Jazz Lovers Television Network. And I also want to recognize Supernet, Permet, Osset, Mauri, Amen, of the Chair, Shashini Hechanub, Kara Amin Ra, Temple of the White and Gold Lotus, Kara of the Amin Ra, Shrine to Amin Ra. And as I said earlier, His Excellency Sharif Balde has sent me the Gambia report. Essentially what he's saying in the Gambia is this: there's been a surge in the coronavirus cases in the Gambia. So as soon as the projects that are on the table here with me that can begin to get medical supplies and equipment to both the Gambia and the Congo to assist in this worldwide travesty and tragedy, we will. He says that the cases are rising, but they're working on getting it gradually under control. When I first spoke with them about that, they had only experienced 10 fatalities about 2 weeks ago. So obviously, since then, there's been a surge. Additionally, many of you are familiar with the Gambia, but you may not be familiar with the Roots Festival. The Roots Festival is based upon the Kunta Kinte story who came out of the Gambia. There is a Kunta Kinte Island at the delta of the Gambia, the River Gambia going into the Atlantic Ocean. So they're having a ministerial meeting, committee meeting, on the restoration of Kunta Kinte Island, because the island, due to global warming and the oceans rising, is gradually being covered over with water. So there is a project underway to begin to dredge the river, and they have reached out to us to assist them in gathering river dredging equipment to assist with that. Additionally, they are getting ferry boats. The Roots Festival, our delegation has been asked to lead a flotilla of ships up the River Gambia during this celebration to symbolize the return of the Neteru and the ancestors to the continent. As our ancestors came down the Gambia River in shackles and chains, our flotilla will go back up the River Gambia to symbolize the return of our ancestors and the Neteru and our spiritual liberation. So I've sent to Amar some of the ferries that they sent me, pictures of them, so that he can share them. Sharif Balde is the lead diplomat. Many of you have heard me speak about there is a delegation coming over from the Gambia. They were due to be here prior to this international health crisis. When the world got shut down, they had already begun to send their documentation to the embassy in Banjul, which is the capital, in order for them to acquire their visas to travel here. So as soon as the embassy got those letters, that was also followed up with a letter from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, former Ambassador Tangara, who was part of the delegation that we negotiated with for free and fair elections in the Gambia. With that, I want to make sure that all of you go to our YouTube World Media Coalition television channel and view that documentary, The Gambia, the Flower of the African Conscience, because that is our direct tie to the Gambia as a result of those high-level talks to put the current president, Adama Barrow, in office. And His Excellency Adama Barrow has authorized His Excellency Sharif Balde to lead the delegation here. So our ties to the Gambia are very strong. And that's the information that His Excellency shared with me to report in the Gambia report. So although he was not able to attend because of the electrical problems there, also when you go to our television network on YouTube, there is a video of a electrical project and device under $300 that we intend to begin to provide to not only the Gambia, but other of the nations in the African Union on the continent. So with that, I thank you for allowing me to share the report from His Excellency Sharif Balde, and I give the floor back to the talk show host.
Great, great. Much appreciated. That was the Gambia report given by Makakuvu Ali El-Bey. Once, like you said, His Excellency Sharif Balde couldn't actually get on because of technical issues. And that happens. This is a live show, so things like that do occur. As Verda was saying, and I should explain this, all of you are part of the World Media Coalition. You all are legacy builders, all of you who choose to bring a report every so often. And our legacy is, what we bring to the table, what we come to show everybody, teach everybody, and learn from everybody else. So that being said, I look forward to us building this legacy because this is amazing. Brother Lloyd and Shireen Wright, are you all available?
Yes, we are, sir. Sorry, we're just trying to sort out our technical errors. Let's try again now.
All right, so I'm going to give you the floor right about now.
Okay, so we'll play the video again. So sharing the screen. Can you see the screen? You can see it. This is crazy. It was just working before it was all talking. Okay, here we go. You ready? Okay, here we go.
Greetings and blessings, family and friends. Welcome to Universal Tree Back to the Future project. Sometimes you have to travel to the past to save the future. History plays a very significant and important part of our culture, identity, and development, no matter where you are in this world. The Back to the Future project has been designed by Lloyd Remell Miller and Shireen Wright to show the importance of history and how relevant it is today, from the past to the future, inspiring you to be the kings and queens you was born to be, giving a sense of pride and belonging. The Sankofa bird is a symbol from Ghana that reminds us to always remember the past, for therein lies the future. Forgetting the mistakes only allows us to repeat them. History erasers. Our history is being purposely erased, and our youth are growing with no knowledge of self or value. History is an important part of world history. We teach the world this through our visual learning videos and resources. We have been traveling the world since 2012, researching Black history, culture, traditions, and spirituality, including the civil rights movement throughout the United States and around the world. An old African proverb teaches us of this. It says, until a lion has a historian of its own, the tales of the hunting will always be about the hunter. It is important that we tell our own stories, and until recently, the history of the Africa, the lion, was not written by African historians. Instead, it is written by our oppressors. Now it's time to change this and tell our truth, not his story. Our story never began with slavery or colonization. It began with African empires, kingdoms, great warriors, amazing inventors, advanced civilizations, and worldwide explorers. We travel the world connecting the dots, bringing you the truth because Black history is world history.
We got some a little bit of interference. It's not coming through clear now.
Clear.
Well, I can see you guys. Great, but the video.
So 1 second. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I didn't get you there. Oh. Sorry, guys.
Okay. I'm still trying to fix myself.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't get you. What did you say, my love?
We're saying we can see you, but we're not seeing the video. We heard it, which is good, but
I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't hit screen share. That was the problem. So it was on you guys the whole time.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, it's okay. We heard it. So we got the message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, we're new to this. I'm definitely new to this. Sorry.
No, I don't even know what's going on. I thought I actually pressed screen share. I'm not used to it. I don't know what happened there.
You don't need to worry about it. This is our third production. Each production there will be improvement. And as legacy builders, that's our legacy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So anything else you would like to say?
What time is it anyway?
Yeah, so basically we're just trying to showcase some of the things that we was doing, so you kind of we didn't have to speak as much. You know, Lloyd doesn't like to speak much in public. No, so yeah, so basically we just wanted to show you that we are about the community, you know, about unifying with our people globally, you know, and our acronym is Teach, Respect, Engage and Empower. So we teach history, we teach respect, we teach various different courses that will help the individual grow and develop. You know, I've got my professional background. Sorry, I'll tell you, I've got a Bachelor of Science in Computer, so I'm quite, you know, interested in about doing what we're doing now, collaborating and communicating with people via the use of basic ICT tools. I am also an accredited NVQ. I don't know if you're familiar with that, National Vocational Qualifications Trainer and Assessor. So we, like if you have apprenticeships, it's the same sort of system. So I'll be the person that I'm also qualified to assess people within their workplace. So I'm also qualified in designing courses, as I said before. So we're kind of like, it's our own experiences. My experience of, you know, not leaving school with not much qualifications, being estranged from my parents at one time, could have got myself into trouble. I think the reason why I probably didn't get myself into a lot of trouble because I had my grandparents. I still had family around, where a lot of young people, a lot of people in general don't seem to have family around. I've always been a respectful person. So I've always been a respectful person, so I get the support from others. So what I do, I teach others that, even with my classroom, if I'm teaching employability skills, I will teach my learners that, just saying good morning to the train man at the station every morning, can actually make a big difference and impact to their lives as well as your own life, because that same, train conductor that I'm saying good morning to every morning, he's the one that's holding my train for me if I'm running through the gates, so it's just about showing people.
We understand that the only way that we can create change is basically by networking with people like yourself. That's what it's about. In England, in England the black population is only 3%. So we're only 3%, but at the same time, we're still being very much oppressed because there's not much of us. But we know that in the world, we are the majority of the world. So by networking together, we can create change. We know that the people in our community suffer from mental health. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so we know that a lot of people, because of the way the systems are, suffer from mental health. We suffer from lack of knowledge of self. So these are the things that we want to implement within our, in our organization. We are designed to help the community and basically sort out a lot of the problems.
And we do that by our global community hub. So we have a global community hub where I've asked people like yourselves, people in various different professions, from health. So we've got people that do psychotherapy, counselling. We've got people in the music industry. We've got people in the teaching industry. We've got people in various different sectors across the globe. And so basically what we're trying to do is connect with like-minded people so we can actually implement a system that's going to make change, and it's about action now. We've done a lot of speaking, and it was a Gambian actually that said to me once, he said, what is the greatest resource in the world? And the greatest resource in the world is human resources. So we can learn from each other, share best practices. So where I've worked in universities and colleges, I worked for a grade 1, an outstanding college. And when they were outstanding, we had people around the world that would come and learn from us to see, what we was doing that was excellent, and the reasons for that. So, it's the same sort of principle we want to share with our people, that we can learn from each other, and we can share best practices. We can learn from each other. We can grow, and we can develop our own systems. We've got people in health. We've got other organisations that we work with. We've got Black People Giving. They deal the Way Foundation in Nigeria. We've got people in Ghana that have different charities and different organisations also. We've got you now, Ahmed, in Brazil. So we really want to find ways in which you guys can use me and use my skills, and where, to kind of, to network, to collaborate.
And create change.
And to create change, exactly.
And that's what we're about. We're having a meeting tomorrow with one of the MPs, one of the MPs in England, because we want to build a youth centre which assists a lot of issues what are going on within our communities. Because as I said, I've travelled all over the world, so I've realised that the same problems we're facing in America, the same problems what we're facing in Brazil, it's the same problem. So it's because of the blueprint of how things are structured. We know it's a colonial system. And that is the reason why we are facing the same problems all over the world. Police brutality, mental health, bad food, lack of employment, poor communities. It's the same wherever you go. And it's because obviously the system is created by oppression, which oppresses our people. So we want to create change by making people understand and having knowledge of self. As I said before earlier on, a lot of the problems with the youth is that they have no knowledge of self. So they don't know who they are. So what they do is they buy things which give them a temporary emotion, a temporary release. So they'll buy things like the Nike trainers. They will buy things like the jewelry. They buy things like this because they think that that's the way they get respect. But the reason why they're like that is because they have no knowledge of self. They have no value of self. You don't value yourself, you can't grow. So it's about us teaching our people to validate themselves, and so that way we can create change.
Awesome.
So the programs that we're doing is helping to basically to do that basically, so we can create change.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Thank you, brother, for also for being part of the show tonight, because I know the time difference is big. You are about 5 hours ahead of us, which is why today the show is a little early. We wanted to make sure we get you and Shireen on. I'm definitely grateful that you're here. We still have a surprise. I can't say anything else about it, but it's a surprise. It's coming towards the end of the show. But I would like to give the Queen Mother, Aset Mauri, some space to speak, if you guys don't mind. So unmute yourself, please. I will put you on speaker view. Oops. 1 second. Aset, you're still on mute.
We can't hear you. You're still
Queen
on
Mother,
mute.
you're still on mute, Queen Mother.
Hotel.
Hotel.
Anuka Set Marie, Amen. Hemet Nachair, in Het Nachair, Shishini, Hechanub, the Temple of the White and Gold Lotus, Kara in Amun Ra, Shrine of Amun Ra. And I had the opportunity to be trained by Heri Kafra, whom I believe knew of this pandemic that was coming. It was so many mysterious things that has happened. And I believe that we need to get into our our spiritual culture. And I believe that our spiritual culture is going to get us out of this. And I was trained by Heri Kafra. He said I was his hardest student, in fact, because, I was just kind of hard to realize that I didn't really realize that he was training me for a reason. And it really amazes me, because Heri Kafra knew he was going before he was getting out of here. And he even offered me the opportunity to take this, to go here instead of him, which is really, really something that, I'm sharing with you all. He knew about this pandemic and he was training me to be able to get through it. But I was one of his hardest students. I didn't really take it as serious, what he was training me, until after he ascended. And I was like, why didn't I ask him this before he left him? Why didn't I ask him that? And why didn't I just do this and that? But hindsight is 20/20, as they said. But I understand that Heri Kafra had a gift, and he could see things ahead of time, and he trained me of this Rekati committee, Kemetic Spiritual Science, and my mission is what his mission is, and I say is because in the Kemetic society, Ankh Nahe Ha Nahe, life is forever. He is still with me, guiding me as I tap into the Neteru, the Black deities. And my belief is when we focus on our Black deities, then we get the Tenachir, the spiritual power that is greater than anything on this earth, and we have no fear. As Himnachir Tepi Heri Kafra taught me, Hotek and Hoot, have no fear. I have no fear of all of this pandemic because I know that this is the time of the Nile Valley movement, the Shem Anet Hapi, the Nile Valley movement, where we're going on a new era and we're taking back and making it black of what is our Tirnachir, our spiritual power. And I believe with Tirnachir, Neteru, the spiritual deities, and what Harry Coffer taught me is it will help us get out of this stuff that we in, this colonialism, is why I said no, our freedom. And one of the things he taught us that we need to have our language back. Our language is Meduneche, the sounds of the spirit. I even believe that nothing can penetrate the wavelength of the Meduneche. Makakuvu, he teaches us some of the spiritual aspects of the Meduneche, and he understands the powerfulness of this realm that we need. When we teach ourselves our language, yes, we teach ourselves, like Harry Coffer said on his Pyramid Matrix, Guide to Survival and Success, which he wrote in 2005. He teaches us that we can get through with the Meduneche. And when we speak the Meduneche, none of the enemy's weapons can get through us and to us. And when we get back to the spiritual, and we realize, as Harry Coffer said, that everybody in his book, everybody with the high school education knows that all of the nation started in Southern Africa, and we are the makers of the world. And we teach our children where we came from the Nile Valley community. The Nile Valley is what's going to teaching that made us great at the beginning. We will be great again.
Doing the chair, do a mark you.
Do I sure. So, do I sure. Always a wonderful pleasure to have you on. So without further ado, I want to bring on His Excellency, King Mub-Dib of the Numai Theocratic Indigenous Mauri Amazigh Kingdom. I've been able to speak to His Excellency many times, and I definitely appreciate his insight. So this is our first presentation by the World Media Coalition of the King, His Excellency, to you all. My King, I yield to you the floor in about 2 seconds.
Greetings, everyone. I hope that everyone is happy and excited on this new day. Every day is a new day. We don't live the past, we live for the future. I want to say, I don't know where to plug in that. You know, we have Ghana, we have Gambia. I don't know where I will set myself in. Well, I want to say we do have relationships with the same parties, especially mostly strongly with Ghana. And probably would soon with Gambia, based on the information that I received from the ambassador Makakuvu, who worked for our cabinet. I want to give honor to all our elders, mostly all our elder women, with the knowledge that they bring forth is very helpful for this journey that we have to take for our journey for the future, and our journey for our children, mostly for our children who are being murdered just about every day. I would just receive information from a young man in Wisconsin who was murdered. I actually watched the full video of it, and it was sad that he was actually just walking away, and they followed him and gunned him down in cold blood. This been going on ever since I was a child, even before that. So we have to understand, in this paradigm that we live in is dangerous because of who we are. I don't use certain terms. By using certain terms will disclassify us as a people of true melanated color. I don't use the term black because black means black. It's a color. It's a color of a spectrum. Mostly have to be bled into other colors. So I use the term by who we are, by our origin through our nationality, and by the name that was given to you through birth. So I won't call you black man or black woman. I will call by the name that you was given by birth. If you were, or if you was born into royalty, I would address you as your title was given to you, or I would address you by your title was appointed to you. So I don't use these terms because this discredit us as a people, because they play mind games. I posted a document was given to me, a document called Wake Up. I posted it into the chat room. As we might know that the United States and also the other continents is also owned by Great Britain. The king had drawn out a contract during I believe the 18th century or the 17th century with the colonized people or the colonies in America, letting them know that the king have put a charter in place that will never be written and undermined through Congress or the United States government, because the United States government belongs to Great Britain. The president works for the Queen of England, now who president seat in power, and everything else around this world owns by Great Britain. That's why they are empire. So everyone in America that think that they own land, that think that they own a home, that think that they own their business, they don't own nothing. You don't own nothing. You pay to the Queen. You pay everything to the Queen. Even if you have an office in place in government, you actually work for the Queen. You cannot give yourself a nobility title because it's state in their books and in the charter by the king who wrote it, and believe King Edward or King James. King James first established the order. King James put the order in place that every document and everything that come out of America have to go through Parliament in England. They have to make a decision based on if they proceed on overtaking the crown. So to make sure the king put everything in place through this charter, that nothing could oversee or take over the charter. The only way that the people to come together to establish a militia or establish a sovereign government, it had to be appointed a king, and it had to be appointed independent government other from the government of the United States. So as you might know, there's been different sovereign groups in the United States and different sovereign groups around the world to establish themselves as autonomy or as a government, to establish their own charter, establish their own mission statement, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't properly address the Queen of England right now and present, you are actually an enemy of the state. So is documents that I sent to you fully give detail that was sent to me. It was sent to me to give to you all to read in detail the laws, the policies and everything, even the attorneys who's involved. The 5 families who actually work for the Queen right now, we say J.P. Morgan, who was father who ran the Lords of London back in the 19th century, also helped his son establish the J.P. Morgan Bank, one of the major banks that control America, and also the other 5 families who banking controls through the Queen, through the Crown. So as you may know, if you believe in the 1%, the 1% is the families that control, or the sons and daughters or the grandchildren of these families. The only way that you could be a 1%, you have to actually sell yourself out. I was actually presented to sell myself out about 6 months ago, to give up everything that I know to be a part of the order, and I did not do it. It might have set me a little status in place, but I was just recently coordinated as being the first king in America, coordinated publicly, and then went to the BBC and they publicized it for 30 days and then they took it down because of the controversy. A lot of people don't know it, but they're keeping me private. And I'm not trying to put myself out there and say, you know, this was self-titlement. No, there's no self-titlement here. This was appointed, it was given to me, appointed through my bloodline. So again, we actually have to pay attention to the powers in place. Another thing that you need to understand of who you are, when you come down to self, you have to learn self. You have to love self before you love others. If you don't know how to love others, then if you don't know how to love yourself, you don't know how to love others. So you have to learn to love self first. Then you have to understand others and love others. And then on top of that, I'm going to talk about the kingdom and what the kingdom is doing, and also our corporations who are involved with the kingdom, and also the other kingdoms and royal families who are involved in our autonomy on moving forward to uplift fallen humanity. We are not a Moorish group. I'm gonna make sure we're clear of that. We are not Moorish, or we're not Moor. The same terms that I said mean black, and blacknish mean, like we want to say the term niggerish. We are not using them terms. We are who our original ancestors are Mauri Amazighs, who are Berbers out of North Africa, who lent our lineage that went into from North Africa to Italy or to Spain and all the way to establish 800 occupation in between Rome, Italy, and France. That's our ancestors. They are not Moors. That term came from European colonizers that used that term to classify us as a people, Moor. We are not that. We are Mauri Amazigh Berbers. You can look at that term, it'll give you the definition. Again, I'm going to give you an introduction about our kingdom. Well, Numai Aboriginal Theocratic Kingdom was established in 2015 by Dr. Ansari, who established our NGO in the United Nations and registered and put our charter through the government of federal government here in the United States, and established our NGO to be a platform for the world order to uplift fallen humanity. And then from there, it was established by our council that the path that Papa Noju Ali was established as a businessman. He was not a man that walked on water. He was a businessman. He believed in international business and international trade. We followed on his legacy to establish international business and international trade. And right now we have international relationships in Ghana. We're establishing through our ambassador, Makakuvu, international relationship with Ghana, and also other countries that I have not mentioned. Through our international relationship, we have 5 corporations involved in Numai Kingdom Wealth Solutions who are established here in Atlanta in our corporate office in the Queen's Towers. So by establishing our relationship, we also have companies and people who are involved in automaking. We have a new company developing a better operating car that we get ready to buy into. We actually going to buy, believe 50% of the company to establish a better operating car and open the 3 plants. Right now we're doing negotiation in Ghana to establish an embodied built plant, and also the wiring also in Poland and in Italy. So that's been negotiated. So that brings jobs to America, jobs to Ghana, jobs to Poland, and jobs to Italy, so people could work. Then on top of that, we're establishing another company called Slag that right now currently is owned by Don Morgan. We get ready to buy the company out to establish bringing slag in America and also globally to establish jobs again, and also educational technology dealing with slag. And then we also have 20% of shares in the company, 30% of shares in the company called TBLD Development Corporation is a data capturing company that also have, I can't give out all the information because I'm under NDA, but a lot of the information that I'm gonna give you will help you as you attach yourself and learn more about New Mind through our website and the different companies involved. We are a sovereign kingdom. Sovereign means independent, self-determination given to you by our brotherhood around the world, the United Nations, or brothers. We also have a charter that was delivered to the United States. The United States government understands our charter, but at the same time, we still, if you understand the laws and jurisdictions dealing with sovereignty in the sovereign kingdom, you can have a sovereign kingdom with a corporation or government with already established, but you have to be established on your own. But you do have to have a protocol in place so they understand your protocol so they won't overstep the jurisdiction. So the protocol and statutes within yours and your structure, a government structure, or your body politics have to be delivered to that government. Let's use an example. Monte Carlo is in the province of France, but they have a protocol in place to separate themselves as a sovereign kingdom versus France is a government structure with the president. So they have to respect that sovereign kingdom. And also if something should happen within a sovereign, they have to go through the secretary of the sovereign to make sure they follow the protocol from that government if something happened to that sovereign in their territory. So it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people have to understand, structure in government and also structure in sovereign kingdoms, so it won't be a conflict of interest. And you have to have people knowledge in place to deliver this information to the diplomats or the ambassador who will represent the sovereign or the royal family or that person that represents the king or the queen in order. So, and also I want to give thanks to Makakuvu. I met Makakuvu through a gentleman named N. Campbell, who also is still part of the kingdom, but he's on his own endeavors. I met Makakuvu in the boardroom on the 30th floor at the Queen's Towers, and we was opening up negotiation with the Lazy Dawn and also with Gambia and Ghana. I love Makakuvu. I asked him to be a part of that cabinet, and I asked him to deliver some of our information that we were doing in the kingdom to an ambassadorship to deliver our information, also to establish new relationship business-wise and also through other governments. It's been right now, I believe, from what I've been getting from my advisors, that everything's successful. But at the same time, there's always ups and downs in any type of body politics. So I want to thank also a brother who hosting the show, the young brother, the son of Makakuvu. Both of these gentlemen is sharp. They're about the future, not the past. We learn from the past, but we head for the future. We don't live in the past, we head for the future. If we worry about what happened yesterday, we'll never see what's coming in front of us today. So again, I'm very honored, but I'm very shy man. They actually had to pull my teeth to get me to come today. So I want to thank you all for listening. And I'm also pleased, and I'm trying to calm down a little bit. So again, thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Excellency.
Remark you.
Thank you, Excellency. So now we get to the moment of the surprise. Now, I need to find the surprise as well. Is Brother Jarian in the house? So while we're waiting for Brother Jarian to show up, I want to remind you that the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network is going to be a subscription-based television network. Once again, we'll be working with news, business, arts, culture, and entertainment. News and business first, arts, culture, and conscious entertainment, consciousness with a K. We'll be worldwide. connecting the diaspora virtually and eventually physically, and working together to uplift all of our people through everything: news, business, arts, culture, and entertainment. Let's see if he's here. Give me 1 second, please. Makakuvu, is Jarian in?
Yeah, just call me.
Okay.
I'm trying to reach him again. And I also texted him. He was at the doctor's office and he had just gotten in the house. Let me give you a little background on the surprise. World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network. Two entities under the same corporate structure. Jazz Loving Television Network is our arts, culture, and entertainment platform. Jarian Dixon is one of my artists, and I've done some work with him. He actually produced the first Jazz Lovers Television Network. I just got to check and see if he's in. He just texted me he's in the meeting.
Yeah, I see him. I'm see if I can do this here.
And see, folks, y'all can't do this with live television. Not with mainstream media.
No, you can't.
And this is our mainstream media. This is our network, and it's going to be growing into a major entity. So with that said, I'm going to shut up and let Amar bring on Jarian.
Okay, I just spotlighted your video. It took me a little while to get there. So Jarian, you on? Actually, you're actually on mute. Look on the bottom left side of your screen. It should have a little microphone with a red microphone with a red line going through it. Okay, it looks like we're having some difficulties with his microphone right now.
Okay, I think that might have that. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, sorry for being late. I literally, funny story. Last week, a garage door fell on top of my head and my back. So it's had to go to the doctor. Everything's fine. A couple of bruises here and there, but at least I can still play the sax. So with that being said, how's everyone doing today?
The fair.
Awesome.
Good King.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Equare, excellent.
Blessed.
I like that.
Give me like 5 or so minutes, or probably less than that. I just got to make sure everything is going good with the brand new sax. Let me step out for a second.
Take your time.
I'll do it here.
Yeah, do it there, man.
Yeah. You can include us in the sound check.
What I thought.
Color.
Here, I think
that's your tenor sax, man?
Yep, this is my tenor.
Now, I got to give you a little background on this brother. I've been playing congas for over 60 years. I'm a tenor chair, spiritual drummer. And as we were moving forward to initiate the first production at the Marietta Theater in the Square last July 19th of 2019, we were doing some auditions. Jarian is the only musician down here in Atlanta that can play with me. The only one. So with that, Jarian, it's your floor.
My floor? All right. Let's get this show on the road. Let me just take this, take that right there, take that out. Okay, this chair is about to get on my nerves. Hold up. Out you go. Nope, can't do it because it's connected to my headphones. Okay, screw it. Here goes nothing. And that's just a warm up. Okay. And like I said, tenor sax ain't my first instrument. The alto is, but I gotta work to the kinks. Better yet, hold that thought. I got something that y'all might like.
Excellent,
All right.
excellent, brother. Thank you.
I like to say this about that, brother. Jaron, what are you, 22 now?
23, brother.
23? Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
It's all right. It's all right.
This young man is visually impaired. He doesn't read music. And he can play with me. So he's one of my top talents. And we're going to be producing, what's the name of your show we're going to produce, Jarian?
Well, it was either going to be along the lines of the same, or you remember it had something to do with jazz improvisation. But I think that one thing that you mentioned to me about a week ago, the Jarian Dixon Express, just by how I can run through a track as if I'm one of them speeding bullet trains. But I mean, I'm a straight shooter, so I will talk my business, show my product, and then I get out your hair. So,
right on.
Jarian Dixon Express. Let's leave it at that.
So that's going to be his show, folks. The Jarian Dixon Express, World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network. I'll give it back to our host, Amar, so he can open up the Q&A session.
All right. So, as Makakuvu said, now we're going to open up the Q&A. So anybody that has a question, you may speak. Make sure you unmute yourself before you speak. And also, give courtesy, if somebody's trying to speak, and, so everybody speaks at one at a time. The floor is open.
My main question, and this is to Makakuvu, when is everything going to kick off? That's my main question. When is everything with the Jazz Lovers Television Network really going to kick off?
Good question. I'll begin to answer that question this way. As Amar said at the beginning of the program, who in our viewing audience watches television? Everybody, because everybody in the audience is watching us now.
Correct.
The next question is, who in our viewing audience has a subscription for their television service? Just about everybody.
Yeah.
The third question is, who in our viewing audience gets paid to watch television? Nobody.
Nope.
The Jazz Lovers Television Network business model is a self-generating, a self-perpetuating, revenue-generating business model. I'm gonna say that again.
Where's the phone jack for this?
It's a self-perpetuating, revenue-generating business model. There is no business model like this. What do I mean? First and foremost, nobody gets paid to watch television.
Right.
Jazz Lovers Television Network is going to pay you to watch television. Okay? You see these folks behind me? You cannot go to them and submit to them any production idea that they will even consider for you to produce. Self-perpetuating, revenue-generating model. You will be a subscriber. I'm getting an echo from someplace. You will be a subscriber to the network. Pre-launch subscription rate is $9.95 for life. Nobody can get a television service that will keep you at one price for life. As a subscriber, now Now watch these folks behind me. Now you have a subscription number, and people that come under your subscription number who like our network and become subscribers, you get a stakeholder payout. $9.95 per month for the subscription, $2 per month for the stakeholder payout for life. For life. And I want that to sink into you, because it has, you know, the conversation has been our lack of economic success, the oppression of our captors. So Darian asked, when is this going to kick off? This is the first stage of kicking it off, the World Media Coalition. News, Legacy Builder News Production. YouTube channel, World Media Coalition. Our productions are being posted there to build our viewing audience. That's right, you see him shaking his head, he agree with that. The next step, the website, www.worldmediacoalition.com. Sending people to the website to register their name and information. The next step, I'm waiting for the corporation papers to come down. Set up the business bank account. Then gonna launch the marketing campaign based upon the platform that's being established right now that you are a part of, to begin subscription recruitment. Subscription recruitment to subscribe to the Jazz Lovers Television Network, $95.95. One-time subscription. $30 is a commission to the recruit, the legacy recruiter, the legacy builder recruiter. You get $30 per subscription. So if you do 10 subscriptions a month, you make $300. The balance pays 6 months for the person who becomes a subscriber. So your first 6 months from bringing that person in, their first 6 months is paid for, and your first 6 months gets you another $12. So you get $42 of $95.95 as your commission payout. So you do 10 of those a month, that's $495 a month. Now here's the second part of it. There's a benchmark, a legacy builder benchmark, level 1. Level 1 is that you've gotten 200 people to become stakeholders, subscribers under you, subscriber stakeholders, because they're gonna start making money. You start making money right away to watch television, So now you got 200 people in your stakeholder legacy. It's not marketing. This is not multi-level marketing. That's a commission payout. I call it a stakeholder payout. Now here's the other thing. You see these companies here? They are publicly owned companies. They're on the stock market. So they have stockholders. The World Media Coalition, Jazz Lovers Television Network, particularly, will never have to have stockholders. Why? Because everybody in our network, number one, gets paid. You get paid. This has the effect of lifting our people out of poverty, of putting in place the opportunity to build a wealth-based foundation in our community. Nobody's talking to us about that. Nobody's talking to us about building a wealth base in our community. Everybody's talking about They want to be equal. You want equality. Let me ask you a question. If these people invaded your land, enslaved us, raped us, killed us, is that what you want to be equal to? I hear the term history in reference to us. Think about this. There is no such thing as Black history. The brother said to learn knowledge of self. The reflective pronoun for self is my. What's the opposite of his story? If knowledge of self is knowledge of myself, then knowledge of myself is the study of myself. So the study using the suffix ology and the reflexive pronoun my, our story is myology. You have to get out of using the term his story in terms of our story, because his story is a lie. So you want to be equal to a lie? You want to build a network that lifts us out of poverty, or you want to continue paying to watch these people lie to you? Listen to Satan in the White House. Listen to him. Every word he says is a lie. Every breath he takes is a lie. You don't want to be equal to that. They made John Lewis a hero. The man got beat by the police, damn near lost his life. And that's our hero. Malcolm X can't be our hero. Nate Turner can't be our hero. Marcus Garvey can't be our hero. Gabriel Prosser can't be our hero. Harriet Tubman, they trying to deny her. So what do you want to be equal to an evil person for? That ain't what this is about, folks. This is about spiritual liberation, Udama Akayur. Udama Akayur, to free ourselves from the lies that our oppressors have taught us. It's kicking off within the next 3 months. Now I know this is question and answer, but since I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and finish with my presentation. First of all, with the things that are on the table. So I just got finished talking to you about the World Media Coalition, Jazz Lovers Television Network. That's my first business. I have a second business, Fast Investment Company Limited, headquartered in the Gambia. I had asked the CEO, the international CEO, Fale Balde, to come on the program. I don't know if he's on the program. I also asked some people from Uganda and the Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo, to come into the program today. Fast Investment Company Limited, headquartered in Paradise Estates in the Gambia, is a company that sells gold and diamonds, wholesale. So you watch television, you see the commercials for the gold sales, United States Money, Lear Capital, all of these people telling you about gold. Fast Investment Company Limited is our company that sells gold and diamonds. I asked the Democratic Republic of the Congo to come on the call today. I don't know if they made it. I spoke to him earlier. It's almost midnight over there now, or later, because they're 7 hours ahead of us. They have set aside 2 tons of gold to send us so we can begin to monetize that into capital so that our people can buy medical supplies and equipment to send to the Democratic Republic of the Congo to build hospitals and medical centers. Right now, I'm working on putting together the capital to get the first shipment of gold coming in. You hear these white folks on television talk to you about gold? Well, now you got a brother on television talking to you about gold. And I don't care whether you like it or not. Because what's happening is to grow our network is going to put money in everybody's pocket. Everybody's going to make money with us. Now, once you get 200 subscribers and stakeholders, you have the opportunity to submit to us a production concept. And everybody on this program, you know one thing about me. I'm unrehearsed, unscripted, one take. So when you come on in the production with us, unrehearsed, unscripted, one take. You better know what you're doing. That's why I like Jarian. Jarian get up on stage, he don't ask me what I'm playing. I just start cranking it and he cranks it right along with me. Unscripted, unrehearsed, one take. Why? Because you gotta know what you're doing, because or said to tell you, and then Zir, Ir, Zawi, we are at war. And what motivates me is this question, one answer to this question, this one question. If we had to take our women, if and then had to take our women, and then means we in Middle Nature. If and then had to take our women, children, and elders to safety, where would we take them? How would we get them there? And how would we feed, clothe, and protect them while we're there? That's what this is about. It ain't about Makakuvu trying to get rich. It ain't about me trying to make y'all rich. It's about being able for us to answer that question so that our people can go to safety. Our people can have safe passage. Our people can be the type of people that are better than who people are trying to be equal to. I do not want to be equal to Satan in the White House. And you better not want to be equal to them either. Because lastly, I'm gonna finish with this. There's a woman on this broadcast right now who said something to me. And I'm gonna ask her to speak about it as soon as I finish. Myology, the story, the study of ourselves. One must be able to recognize that our people suffer from the battered wife syndrome. You know what that is? Woman get beat up by her husband, he get drunk, beat up, then he want to make love to her, he beat up some more. But she's so afraid to leave him. That's the battered wife syndrome. Our people have been beat down for 400 years, beyond that. And still, our people are crying to be equal to the devil. For what? For what? The battered wife syndrome, the Stockholm syndrome. You don't want to be equal to evil, folks. You are not responsible for invading this land. You are not responsible for the genocide of the people of this land. You are not responsible for rape, murder. You're not responsible for that. So why do you want to be equal to someone who is responsible for that? Because as it said in the Bible, where it says your seed will be a stranger in the land that is not theirs and to serve them for 400 years, from 1619 to 2019. So folks running around talking about, oh yeah, the Jubilee. Ain't no Jubilee in that, because the next sentence says in that same verse, it says, and I shall judge that land. So now what you telling me, you want to be a part of being responsible for that? You want to be judged along with that? There's your equality. Move out the way. Take our women, still children, and elders to safety. Now, you got these brothers and sisters being killed by the police. I had a sister tell me, and she just spoke to you, and I'm gonna ask her to tell you about it. This sister went to a party in New York years ago, decades ago. And I've often said there is a secret society of police officers. And the only way you can get into that society, that secret society, you have to kill a black man. That's the only way. Now, I'm gonna ask Ms. Verda Olayinka to tell you the trophy that she saw on the mantle of a fireplace in white folks' home in New York City almost 30 years ago. Would you speak on that, Ms. Olayinka? Unmute yourself.
Okay. That's part of a chapter in my book, Activating Social Solutions. It talks about, I'll tell you the name of the chapter, Spade a Spade, No Apologies, okay? Very briefly, I was teaching at Brooklyn College, the Black Family and the Black Woman in America in the mid-1990s. We looked at choices for survival, certain objectives that we should look at for survival purchases that may not be what we're about right now. One of them was polygamy and how we could make that work for us and our families, because it was in process anyway. But I advised my classes to go to the Black male exhibit at the Whitney Museum on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. The thing about the Whitney Museum is that it's a very, very exclusive museum of art. And so I felt that seeing the Black family, the Black male, excuse me, it was called the Black male. And I went myself to review the exhibit before advising my classes to attend this exhibit. There were three things. There's this fascination with the Black phallus is one of them. The second was the way that we were depicted in a boxing ring with rabbits dressed in blackface fighting each other in a space of confusion and just a mess. There were no female rabbits there because the idea was, I thought, that the females were home making babies because rabbits are very prolific. The third piece was a mantelpiece, the mantelpiece exhibit. I'm not that very tall, but the mantelpiece was a little higher than myself, so I could see it almost at eye level, and it contained several trophies that were decorated by a Black phallus. Each trophy had a phallus on it, in different sizes and shapes of the trophies. These trophies were given to the New York City Police Department for killing a Black male. And there had to be at least 25 trophies on this mantle, the average mantelpiece, with guns also at the base of these trophies, with the year and date of the killing of the Black male that these people were honored for. And so it was at that point, I made it very clear, and I made it clear to the readers, they don't like us, they want to kill us. The exhibit, I don't even want to talk about it, but I'd rather you check out chapter 2 in my book if you can get it. I'll write the title before we close. But the point is that it was clear we make no excuses. We don't have to be about negative racism and all the things that they charge us with every time we step forth to defend ourselves or our people. And this was my proof, my personal proof. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't believe it myself. but there were trophies, and I did a double take, and I attempted to count the trophies, and of course there were lines of people waiting to pass through this exhibit. So there's, come on, let's go, you know. So I couldn't stay there long, but it was really something to see. I couldn't believe that would be, and the show was supposed to be a traveling show, and it was supposed to go to Los Angeles next and other cities of this exact same exhibit called The Black Male. Unbelievable. So that's, thank you, Womack, for acknowledging this, because the reality I could hardly believe. I could, if I didn't see it, I'm not sure I would believe it.
Doing the chair, doing the
Thank
chair.
you. Yes.
Sure.
This is the only television program in the world where you will hear that. I've said for almost 20 years that there's got to be a secret society among police officers, that the only way you can get in, and you see that hoax? You see that, right? The hoax is on us, folks. You see them two devils right there? Watch that. Satan in the White House and his minions are planning a civil war. That's why he's doing what he's doing. Satan in the White House is a political insurrectionist. And you listen to them, nobody says that. Nobody says he's a political insurrectionist. So this is our opportunity, folks, not only to raise our community, but to shift the paradigm. Many of you know, and Osset Marie Arend knows, our programming comes to you from the year 6260, not from 2020. Not from 2020, not the Greco-Roman calendar. You got to change your mind construct, the paradigm. You have to shift the entire paradigm. You don't want to be equal to the paradigm of evil. You want to upend it with truth. Ma'at, Udama'akayu, and I yield back to Your Excellency, Omar. Thank you.
Do I in the chair? Yes, make no doubt about it, people. In here, Zawi, we are at war, and we need to act accordingly as such, and we need to work together so that we don't get annihilated. That and then is not annihilated. Is there anybody else have a question? Anybody have a question for His Excellency Kimu Abdi?
Someone had asked a question about the corporation in Atlanta. Our corporation based on buying companies and helping the companies move forward on their endeavors. We might have a small share in helping the company move forward, but at the same, as we speak, my sister company, TPLD Development Corporation, is regaining funding to help push the endeavors that they have also, and also other companies who are attached to the tree or to our structure, our platform. And at the same time, through this venture, New My Kingdom Wealth Solutions and also TPLD is establishing a world platform for funding. What that means is, say hypothetically, you have a company and I'm gonna put it out there. Everything is non-recourse. Non-recourse means that you are not obligated to pay back. It's for humanitarian effort. So if you have a company or organization or nonprofit organization, but you have to have the paperwork to prove what you're working on to these funds to be expedited to you. Once the platform is established and done, I would say in a matter of probably 6 months to a year. And then everything is handled privately. It's not going to be a public platform, it's a private platform. So hypothetically, say just like in our relationship, we have a relationship with the king in Ghana. He gave New My Kingdom Wealth Solutions, or New My Kingdom itself, 183,000 acres of land. Within that 183,000 acres of land, we're establishing a new city, establishing a new community, help building that area also with the mining and natural resources that is going to be recycled back into the corporation structure of New My Kingdom Wealth Solution through TBLD and our associates. So, you know, I respect what Makakuvu say. I respect that we are in dangerous times, but we cannot go in a ship without an engine or without a paddle. We have to have a platform of modernization and have the monies recirculated back into our structure or back into our communities, not giving not giving them what we generated. The only way that the economic development is done within a structure of a government or a body politics, it has to be recognized by other equal or other people who are in that same order. Says like Ghana. If Ghana respect and understand what you're doing, they will open their doors to do international business. At that, they will establish allies. On that, they will give you protection, just like you will do establish protections also. You have to develop relationships with other countries to understand your struggle. They have to see you bleeding. You can't go with countries that have already have a colonizer structure that will not allow you to grow. You have to understand that Africa is our sister and also our mother. So if that's our mother, we have to ask our mother to assist us to establish our relationship to build a strong alliance. They have their structure, they have their wealth, they have their politics in place, and also they also could give you recognition. I ask the ambassadors to go out to establish the recognitions through the other countries to establish a relationship to international trade and also international protection. This has to be done. The only way that we understand to get away from being singled out, a lot of people has been singled out and been targeted. You cannot go out there as a lone ranger screaming to the top of your voice, because you will be singled out. You have to move as a collective body. If they see that you move as a collective body, they respect you more. But at the same time, whoever the head of that body has to be protected constantly, because you destroy the brain of the body would die. So if we understand the simple fundamentals of the body structure, who we are as a body, have with the members of our body, our mind, then our brain, then our soul. Our soul is the spiritual structure of this body. And then from the body, we have the working devices, the hands, and we have the engines that move our feet. So if we have a body politics in place, and we understand we have a brain that controls that, then we have to protect our body doing international business, international trade. We have to have a mouthpiece. We have to have things in order. We understand that everyone have a different faction. Everyone have a different kingdom. Everyone have a different tribe. Everyone have a different temple. But you're different, but you're not working together. You could talk the language, but you're not coming together. Makakuvu and his son is bringing people together so you could build an alliance. I don't understand the science. We watch our brothers and sisters. We'll run in the streets. We'll burn up their police building. They'll build a new one. We'll burn up the church down. We'll burn up the church. They get the insurance company, build another church. They say, look at them black folks. They'll class. Look at them black folks. They marching again. But if you don't come together economically, if you don't come together as a body politics, if you don't come together and establish your parliament or your Congress to put policies in place, then we'll be still saying this same preach, the same stuff 20 years from now. So again, we have to come together as a structure, single body politics. And that's the only way that you combat the problems. You could have your kingdom, you could have that, but if you don't establish a Congress or a parliament to bring your difference, just like the United Nations through the Rothschilds or through the colonizers, they established through Stalin, Roosevelt, and Churchill established the United Nations in 1945. And then they wound up backstabbing each other during the German East Germany war. So again, they established United Nations, then they ask you to come in as being part of the United Nations, being together. But at the same time, they the United Nations. That belongs to them. If we don't establish our united front, then we'll still be singing the same solo song. Islam.
So, my brothers and sisters, does anybody have any other questions? Anybody else want to make a statement?
I just wanted to say that what the king said was so eloquent and so true. And like what Makakuvu said, it is definitely some trying times here in the United States. Where we should be headed collectively as people of African descent is to reconnect with the motherland, to put our monies in, to develop there, to build our businesses, to make a connection. It's okay to, this is a global village right now and with technology and everything. So we can go back and forth into the US, into Africa, but I plan on repatriating to Ghana and building a home there. And hey, when the stuff hits the fan in the US, my butt is gonna be in Africa. So that's what I wanna say. Keep your head, connect with your people, your roots. Africa is a lovely place. We just have to put as people of African descent, we have to put our resources, our time, and our talent into it to build it up once again to the great empire that Africa once was and still is. So let's build together with the motherland.
Islam Queen, I want to add this. I received an invitation from the royal family in Ghana. I've received a letter invitation to be coordinator again. Now, he said, it came out of his mouth. I don't know if Makakuvu was on the call to be part of that call with the king, King Kwate. He stated that he would get with the president, because the president is his cousin of the royal family, to establish international protections of anybody who connected to Numa Theocratic Kingdom on international relations. Now, doing the international relations, he would get dual citizenship and also protection from Ghana, from the government. That means that you will have protection. Now, that's the first steps that you should be getting if you are in international business, international diplomat, or ambassadorship. You should have that protections. So when any rogue government, we have a rogue government that murdering our sisters and brothers, murdering on most social media. You can watch it every day. Just go on Facebook, just go on Instagram. You can catch it every day. And they are not protected. Who protecting the so-called, use these terms, the so-called black man? You want to call yourself black, so they're going to treat you like you're black. So who protecting the black man, nobody. Not your own community. After you die, then they'll run and want to burn up something, or they want to march and they want to make they want to make a big name for themselves on the news. They want to run for office, so they're going to use you as a trophy. So again, and I'm going to back what the sisters say, we have to establish ourselves together. It's starting today. If not, then I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my breath. I thank you for having me. I can keep on establishing my company. I keep on establishing my relationship with Ghana. I'm gonna keep moving forward. But if y'all Negroes here in America keep acting like you got the shit going on, you don't have it going on. You don't.
You're right.
Yes, sir. What am I here? I would like to, I believe we have a representative from the Gambia who's in the house. Sheik, would you mind saying a few words? Tihan Barrow. Looks like the video might have frozen up.
Okay. Greetings to everybody. Okay, I'm Tihan Barrow from the Gambia, representing Universal Tree UK and part of Universal Tree UK, also trying to establish Universal Tree UK as Universal Tree Gambia. Basically, it came as a result with a connection of Shireen Wright and Remell, which I normally call my uncle, for that matter. Okay. So they are the type of people like the world really needs. What Shireen Wright taught me is something which I cannot even say. I will always say thank you to her and people like her always. Because by then, immediately after my schooling, I was trying to struggle here and there, trying to see whether I'll be able to embark on something, especially life after school is always something that is difficult. But once met me to a certain place where I was trying to hustle, and she asked me this question: what do you want to do after your schooling? I told her I want to study computer science, and that was the time she told me, well, I studied computer something. So would you like to work with me? So we are working from 2018 till date. So during that time, I really learned a lot from something small. It's a great thing to me and a plus to me. So I'm also honored to meet and also honored to be part of something very good. And I can say thank you to be part of this great gathering of meeting my brothers and sisters from outside the world. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Dua Nature, Womack. Honor to have you on the show tonight. Is there anybody else who has any comments before we close the show?
So thank you very much, Ahmed, for inviting us on your show today. Thank you for all the guests that's doing such amazing things. I definitely want to be keep in contact with everybody. I hope there's a way or avenue that we can. I'm definitely supporting World Coalition World Media Coalition, definitely. I definitely will be subscribing to send information on to me, and we'll definitely be publicizing all of the organizations we've heard today. If they join up with us and they don't mind us doing so, or we'll ask your permission if that's okay. Anybody that wants us to promote or to advertise their services on what they do, Universal Tree, we've got a big mouth, so we will tell everybody all about you guys and what you're doing, because it's really important. And I'm just so proud and honored to be amongst such esteemed people, esteemed organizations that are doing so much. I'm so proud. I'm actually really proud to be on this show, to be a guest amongst such wonderful people, to be honest with you. And I just want to see how I can work with you guys and what we can do. I'm a soldier, so I'm here to work for all of you guys. And that was just, who you just spoke to just now was Tihan Barrows from the Gambia. He's our business partner now in Universal Tree Gambia. And he's a talented individual that I'm talking about, that he's able to, he's not just our PDS manager and our communication manager, so he communicates with the local communities in the Gambia for us, or anybody that wants to do business with us. He's the main person, and he's the director of the Universal Tree Gambia, but he's also extremely like I said to you, he's a gentleman that can fix any electrical item. He's so talented, and he really does support his community. He's actually making face masks at the moment, so look out for the website. please support him because he's doing this absolutely free in his neighborhood. He's making free masks. He just learned how to use the sewing machine a couple of months, not even a month ago, and he's already making facial masks for his community, his local community. So we're linking up with what we want to do. We're going to link him up with other fashion and streamers to kind of work together to get that project done so they can provide more medical equipment and facial masks for the communities in Gambia. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Make sure you post your website and email in the chat so everybody can download, can copy it and paste it, put it somewhere so that they have it. Also, anybody else who has a website or email or wants to connect right now while we're here, post your information in the chat. That way everybody can copy it and paste it somewhere so that we have it. And then we will begin working on the site with the World Media Coalition, a database of everybody who's involved so we can connect with each other. You know, in the interim when we're not doing the broadcast. And if that is it, if there's no one else who wants to make a statement.
Yes, please. worldmediacoalition.com. Our email address is worldmediacoalition@outlook.com. So that's worldmediacoalition.com for the website, and worldmediacoalition@outlook.com for the email. Please make sure you link into both. Give us your information, because as we roll out the Jazz Lovers Television Network, you are the first line legacy builders to start the subscription marketing campaign. So you will be the first ones to start to get paid. So that's our wealth building strategy. And again, it is a subscription-based stakeholder marketing concept for a self-perpetuating, revenue-generating business model. And it is our opportunity to build our network and to build, for you to build your legacy in production. From there, as we do, you know, they have these power meetings with different multi-level marketing companies. We're not one. But my point is, when our conventions start, they will be conventions that broadcast those people who have submitted production concepts that have been accepted. And once your production concept is accepted, every dollar you put in to the production, the Jazz Lovers Television Network is going to match that. So our conventions will be to highlight all of those productions that have been accepted and going into production. So they'll be like our television film festival as well as business convention. Udama Akiyua, Line of the New Dawn.
Udama Akiyua.
Udama Akiyua.
Udama Akiyua.
All right, so with everybody's permission, I'm gonna close out the show. Once again, it is an honor and a blessing to have you all today. This was the extended version. Today we went about 3 hours, but it was great. Lots of knowledge dropped on everybody. And let's take our missions and move forward. Continue to connect, share with everybody else. Our next broadcast is slated to be 2 weeks from now on Monday. The time will be announced depending on who our guest speakers would be. As soon as we know what time and we have our speakers, we'll let you know what time it'll be, but it'll be 2 weeks from today. I don't know what date that is, if somebody could check. And, you know, we'll be posting it. We'll be sending you guys emails. Everybody that posted their email in the chat, I copied and pasted, so you'll be on the mailing list for the emails. Share, 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 because sharing is caring. And if and then don't get together, we won't be able to make it. So let's bring everybody together on all fronts, on all continents, the entire diaspora, and family and friends, so that we can make this happen. We have a legacy to build and to continue. And Dua Nature, thank you all very much. Womack for you.
Womack Kiowa.
We're going to take you out with a special treat.
Oh, I already know what you got planned.
As soon as Amar pulls it up.
You ain't slick, Makakuvu.
Hold on 1 second, it's coming. There we go.
Damn, Cynthia. Ain't lost your touch.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you for coming
I
out.
gotta take a drink to that. For real.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you for coming out. See you guys on September 7th, the next show. Peace and blessings. Womack.